just because you have all these pieces doesn't mean they're going to click and work.
Eagles
But I do,
fans.
yeah, exactly. All right, well, maybe this is strange, maybe it's not strange. The team that I have winning the South didn't even have a winning record last year. And am I buying into the hype? Yes, I'm buying into the hype. I got USC.
Oh. Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun.
Lincoln Riley comes over from Oklahoma. So does quarterback Caleb Williams. Also welcome to Oregon running back Travis Dye. Wide receivers Mario Williams from Oklahoma. Brendan
Wait.
Rice.
Wait. Travis Dye transferred to USC?
Yep.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yep.
Oh, man, how the hell did I miss this?
Wide receiver Brendan Rice from Colorado. And it doesn't stop there. Linebacker Shane Lee from Alabama. Romello Height from Auburn. Everybody jumped on the transfer train to USC.
I think
Doesn't
because of
mean,
everything, Travis Dye's name got lost in all those transfers because I
yeah,
know all those kids that transferred. I didn't know Travis Dye. Oh, my. All right, go ahead.
yeah. I mean, just because you have all these pieces doesn't mean they're going to click and work.
Eagles
But I do,
fans.
yeah, exactly. But I think it
Oh,
will. I think it will. They get a warm-up game against Rice. They have a decent schedule. And for the entire month of November, they don't leave Los Angeles.
They don't leave Los Angeles in the month of November.
Yeah. All their games are home games in the Los Angeles area.
Wow.
Well, not home, but local.
Coach, who you got, man?
Well, my guy Dunn is not the only one alone. I got the USC Trojans.
On the hype train.
I got the USC Trojans right here. Adding Jordan Addison is big for this team.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they had Travis Dye. You know, I mean, I just mentioned him on Oregon how big he was last year when Verdell got injured.
Is Jordan Addison the number one receiver on that team? I don't even know.
I mean, he's still going to help. He's still going to help them out, and then getting Caleb Williams coming over there, which everybody knew he was going to come over there because, Lincoln Riley gave him an opportunity. And I mean, again, Spencer Rattler stunk so bad. Caleb Williams came in and changed that whole game. That second half in the Texas game, and that's when everything started right there. And Spencer Rattler is a terrible quarterback. He's not a very good quarterback at all. So again, Caleb Williams means a lot. Passing game, he can also run the football when you don't got to spy on him. And he got a couple of 5-star recruits over there too. Don mentioned the wide receiver, I believe they got from Oklahoma as well. So again, man, I just think this team is prime. I just think this team is ready. And I think Lincoln Riley, I think it's going to take no time for USC to be back in the rankings and be a tough team and probably be a sleeper in the college football playoff in the upcoming years. And you got Lincoln Riley is going to continue to entice recruits to come there as well in a big time college market as well. So Don ain't the only one on USC, man. I'm on USC. I'm with Don, man. Got USC. I think they're going to be slightly better than Oregon this year. I think they're going to be slightly a little bit more better than Oregon for the weapons they got, like the scrimmage game that they're going to have against pretty much Rice. Sometimes you need those little scrimmage games to see where your team is going to be at.
Hey, don't be making fun of Rice like that. Get off my man.
Rice is a part of Houston, and I watch them there, so they just so bad, man. Rice is just not that really that.
What do they call that stadium down there? They call it the Rice Bowl, right?
Yeah, they call it the Rice Bowl Stadium down here. I just think sometimes when you have some of these scrimmages games like that, allows your teammates to click. Sometimes on that, but I believe having Lincoln Riley a part of that program, I think this team is gonna click faster than what a lot of people think, and I just think USC is just got the better overall team than Oregon this year. But again, I'm with Dunn, man. I got USC winning the conference championship.
I like that pick. I just don't think it's USC's year just this year. I think they barely lose.
I mean, it's going to be no surprise. My sleeper's going to be USC. USC to me, and the reason why I didn't have them winning it all is because it is going to be the biggest. That is the biggest question mark to me in all of college football is how they will do.
Mm-hmm.
I need to see what that team does with Lincoln Riley. Yeah, they had the number 1 transfer class, which I think is going to bode well for them. As Dom mentioned earlier, they had Jordan Addison, who was Pitt's number 1 wide receiver, and now will be USC's number 1 wide receiver. They added on to their defense, which is great, but I mean, defense in the Pac-12 sucks.
Yeah.
So
Terrible.
The biggest question is going to be, how is USC going to do their first year? And if Arizona starts Emory Jones, then yeah, it's USC has that. It all depends on how Lincoln Riley does, and if Arizona starts Emory Jones. But yeah, USC is my sleeper.
Now, if we are looking at the fact that everything that you guys said up to this point about USC is correct with all the transfers that they're getting, with Jordan Addison, former Bolitnikoff winner, with Caleb Williams, who looked amazing last year when he came and stepped in place of Spencer Rattler, who actually called that too, that I didn't think Spencer Rattler was going to be as good as what people thought he was going to be. And then stuff starts coming out about him not being really that great of a teammate. And I hope my man Braden Davis, that used to play Middletown High School down the street, takes his position halfway through the season this year. That would just be the icing on the cake for me. But, you know, with that being said, Lincoln Riley's an awesome coach. I just don't think this is the year that they put it all together right now. I have a hard time thinking that even in college that all these, I mean, say what you want with all the transfers that they got. This is like a super team in the making. They got the money. They got the NIL stuff, Southern California, big school, great tradition, great coach, great recruiting atmosphere. It's everything that you want, you know, for a football team, especially in college football, especially with how hungry that city is for, you know, another great, you know, another great team to come through like they were in the early 2000s. And I think they do that next year. I don't know if you necessarily can call this a sleeper though, now that I'm talking about it more, but I just think they're a sleeper for the fact that they're not going to be able to, they're going to make some noise, but they're not going to be able to reach the Pac-12 championship this year. Just because Utah is going to be so damn good. I think you take seniorship, and I think you take the players that have been there that have already built those relationships with each other. I think you kind of take that over the president of having a whole bunch of superstar names on one team right now. But call it like it is, man. If they end up keeping those kids next year, that's going to be ridiculous. I mean, they might be, if you don't have them next year as like probably, I'm going to just go ahead and say it. If you don't have USC going into next year as like at least a CFP school next year, I think you're absolutely underestimating the power of what Lincoln Riley can do as not as an offensive minded coach, but just as a recruiter in general. And having those guys play with each other. So, pause that came out a little wrong, but
Hold up.
but yeah.